The Cowboys end their regular season here today with a win over Cincinnati Bearcats by a score of 78-67. Now, the team was led by its group of seniors, which prepared them to the win today. It was a windy day here in Neil Patterson Stadium, but it was a great day for sweet revenge as the Cowgirls got a 2-1 win and a little bit of revenge over the Arkansas Razorbacks, who knocked them out of the NCAA tournament this past fall. Thanks for that, Andrew. My ears are still ringing from the atmosphere the kids here created today in GIA as OSU Cowgirls defeated UCA by a score of 89-58. Welcome back to the Daily Yo, and welcome into the Sports Corner. I'm Steve Spears. Let's see what's going on in sports. It's not how you start, but how you finish. And unfortunately for Cowboy baseball, it all slipped away last night. With over 1,000 yards of offense between both teams, and even going to overtime, it's the Cowboys who are eating ribs. The Cowboys end their regular season here today with a win over Cincinnati Bearcats by a score of 78-67. Now, the team was led by its group of seniors, which prepared them to the win today. The Oklahoma State Cowboys honored its group of seniors in a brief ceremony before tip-off against the Cincinnati Bearcats. The game started off a bit of a dogfight with both teams trading buckets, but the scoring was led by the Cowboys seniors, which led Coach Steve Lutz to reflect on his first season as the Oklahoma State coach.
And maybe this is not for me to say, but I know that our team has gotten better, right? And we're not where we want to be as a program, but I know that these kids have invested into Oklahoma State basketball. And today was a heck of a reward for them on senior day. So I was, again, proud of them for their effort, proud of them for sticking with it. And I think it shows a lot of character on their part to do so.
While it was the main cast of seniors leading the charge, one of the loudest ovations came for Kurt Cole, who checked in during the game's waning moments and stole the show, scoring his first bucket as a Cowboy.
It was just really, really fun to see. He had a few chances to get a bucket earlier in the season, but to get one today on senior night, last home game here, it couldn't have played out any better.
Now, the Cowboys may have their scouting done for the Big 12 tournament, as there's a possibility these two teams may match up again in the first round of the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City. For the last time from GIA, Steve Spears, the Daily O. It was a windy day here in Neil Patterson Stadium, but it was a great day for sweet revenge as the Cowgirls got a 2-1 win and a little bit of revenge over the Arkansas Razorbacks, who knocked them out of the NCAA tournament this past fall. It was all defense early between these two teams, as the Cowgirls only had 2 shots at the net in the first half. But the story of the day was the physicality of play from both these squads who faced off in the NCAA tournament just a few months ago.
Yeah, we played those guys in the NCAA tournament last year and they took it to us. And, that didn't sit well with a lot of our returning players. And it's only a spring game. It doesn't win anything. But I think there was a little bit of pride for our kids. And they wanted to show that they could compete, if not beat these guys. So, there was a little bit more focus, I think, from our end this game than there was previous games. But I also think their kids probably were pretty up for the game, too, because, they don't get to play too many quality opponents in the spring either. So it was good for both teams, I would say. But, yeah, there was a noticeable uptick in intensity even in our training this week, so it was good.
We knew they would probably get more attacking chances in the second half, and we knew that they'd probably bring a lot of people forward. Arkansas is really good at scoring goals. They had the most goals in NCAA last season. They are a good team. You got to give them that respect. So we knew we would probably have to play some defensive, but mostly just sticking to what we knew how to do. More than anything, just going out there and playing with intensity and hard work and effort. So
yeah, we're just keeping our energy high and carrying it over from the first half. Just making sure we had it from the second as well.
The Cowgirls have one more game this spring season as they take on Tulsa next Saturday here in Neil Patterson. From Neil Patterson Stadium, Steve Spears, Ocali TV. Thanks for that, Andrew. My ears are still ringing from the atmosphere the kids here created today in GIA as OSU Cowgirls defeated UCA by a score of 89-58. The Cowgirls started the game off on a 9-0 run sparked by senior Honor Gret Ices 3, followed by Tenen Magassa in the post and a pull-up by Alexia Smith, which left UCA stunned as OSU was filled by the excited crowd of kids here today.
You know, it's just a special day for us. It's a cool opportunity for us to get to use our platform to give kids opportunities and exposure to really high-level basketball. And, you know, we talked a lot before this game about just what we wanted to make of today, and that was just to inspire and, you know, be great role models for all the little ones out there. So I am very, very proud because I thought that our kids did that in every way, shape, and form.
The team continued to keep their foot on the gas and pile up the buckets as the Cowgirls raced off and left the Sugar Bears in the dust. Now, this is the first time in the J.C. Hoyt era the team has started out 5-0. Now, we did get a little bit of news here as it has been confirmed by Coach Hoyt that Jasmine Player will be the interim coach while she's on maternity leave. Live here from GIA, Steve Spears, the Daily O. Yeah, Tess, it's been one roller coaster of a week for Cowboy athletics when it comes to basketball. Let's start with the boys this week. The Cowboys fell to Kansas State on Wednesday by a score of 85-57 in Manhattan. Chi-Chi Avery led the Cowboys with 22 points, and K-State had 4 scores in double figures. Now we're going to fast forward over to Saturday when the Cowboys bounced back with a home win over Utah, when they won 81-72. Bryce Thompson had a breakout game and led the Cowboys with 20 points, followed by Chi-Chi Avery with 17. Ezra Ausur led the Utes with 18 points in a loss. Now, fast forward to last night, the Cowboys were back on the other end of the seesaw with a 9-point loss to Houston, which is a win itself. Abu Osman led the Cowboys with 16 points, and 3 other Cowboys got in double figures. Now, Houston leading scorer L.J. Cryer led the Cougars with 18 points. Now, the Cowboys sit at 500 after the loss, with a chance to get back in the win column Sunday when they host Arizona State, who just lost to Kansas State by 1 and are tied with the Cowboys for 3-8 in the Big 12 Conference. So it's definitely been a struggle there.
So Fisher will pick up the D on Thompson. Thompson from 18. No. Put back. Good.
John Michael Wright became a key call for OSU last year as one of the top scorers in the nation before transferring into OSU. He started every game for the Cowboys and averaged 10 points. As he hit every shot for the Cowboys, his father was proudly watching from the stands.
He was the guy who first introduced me to basketball. So you can only imagine how that relationship was then, and I'm here now at a D1 school. So
when we're little boys, we look at our fathers as superheroes. We look to them to give us examples on how to be men. They even introduce us to the sports that we'll play forever.
Yeah, he never missed a game, right? Yeah, he really loved basketball, man. Like, cause he was a player himself. He played at D3 at Eureka College in Illinois. So yeah, he was at every AAU game, every high school game, and every game last year here at OSU. He was there.
To prep for his final season at OSU, the Cowboys took a preseason trip to Spain, where he then got a phone call that would change his life forever.
So my brother called me at like 7 a.m., but it was 1 a.m. here. So when he called me twice. I didn't pick up, and then my grandma called me, and my grandma doesn't really call me that much. So I'm saying, okay, what's going on? So then he called me again, and I picked up, and I said, well, what's up? And he was like, man, I'm so sorry. And I was confused because I thought maybe he like crashed my car. I was like, man, Bishop, because we called my stepdad Bishop because he was a bishop. So he said, man, Bishop died. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, man, he passed away. He was sitting in the chair and stood up. Told my mom, he said, man, I ain't gonna make it, and laid down. And she took him to the hospital, and then the doctor told him he was gone, and he told me that. I'm like, bro, like, I'm just confused. And I talked to him the night before, probably around 12 o'clock, and he sounded fine. He was just saying, man, I'm so proud of you. I can't wait for you to get back. And then 7 hours later, you know, he didn't know that his time was coming. And, you know, I'm thankful that we was able to have that conversation, but still, you know, I feel like I wasn't really able to. We weren't really able to close it off the way that I feel like it deserved to happen.
Players see the court as a way to seek refuge from their personal lives, but his teammates believe he is built for this challenge.
Me and John's a strong guy. You know, John carries himself very well. His parents raised him well, so I don't think it'll really affect John. I think it'll give him a little more encouragement. You know, we do things for the people that we love, and I think he's just gonna step it up another level. John's a phenomenal player, so I don't think it really affected him. He's John Mike, you know.
With Bishop no longer in the stands to watch every game, his last collegiate season has a lot more meaning, as it's not just about basketball.
Because my whole life playing, I've always known him to be in the stands. Or if he wasn't in the stands, he would just call me or send me a message before the game. And just not having that, it's kind of weird. But this season, it's dedicated to him.
Bishop's legacy has had a long-lasting impact on John Michael. He still follows the examples that were taught to him by his superhero.
My stepfather has taught him to not be fazed by a lot of things. Even in his death, he's kept that teaching. So he's, pushing forward. He's composed. He's, motivated, and he's ready. He's going to do well, and I know, my father be proud of him.